Hey guys, thank you for choosing our presentation. We brings you the neo-dimensional training with a tab, digital visualization. We have the best-in-class EWM trainer in the market to deliver the quality education and share his experiences. Our approach and methodology to the training is unique. Let me introduce our methodology with believing. Real-time case studies. We understand that many of our participants did not get any opportunity to visit the warehouse to understand the real-time scenarios. Introducing the real-time business cases every time and building the discussion on available solutions in EWM make the participant easier to understand and remember for life. Visual presentation. We believe human brains understand the process visually faster than the text. That is why we have our platform to explain each and every object on visual slides and the screenshots. Interactive methods. To keep the session alive, we always believe in interactive sessions and encourage the participants to ask as many questions and share his views and expertise. That really helps and gives other participants to gain more knowledge. Hands-on experience. We always believe in action rather than words. Assigning the task every end of the session, support the participants to run the practice seamlessly, preparing for the mark tests, etc. This is where we believe. And finally, the strength of our training, mentoring even after the course. Our service is unique because we believe in after sales, meaning we always be in connect with the participants even after the course completion. The participant can always be in touch with us via WhatsApp or email. Thank you for watching and let us get to the agenda today. Hope you enjoy our presentation. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and follow. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
So it is creating two handling units, warehouse task. Okay. So now I'm trying to create the warehouse task. No changes. Select.
Yeah.
So error message occurred, save anyway. So it will not save, however. The reason is that we don't have any strategies defined.
Yeah, and it's Putaway strategy.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is a log will give you all the information. You see, what is it saying? Storage type search. The search, you see, source data is determined. Handling unit palette. GR zone 1 is a source which you got it from your process type, even from your reference delivery. Okay, but the destination data is failed. So it is failed because we haven't had strategies defined. So basically it is giving some synopsis. It's saying some, it's not, it doesn't have indicators for these various process types, all that. So now this determinations we have to define in our system, so that system will automatically determine the dynamic bin. Okay. So let us discuss.
You say that on the first step, we have received the goods at the GR zone 1, right? Whatever it is. And now we are creating the warehouse task for the second step to move the stuff from the GR zone 1 or whatever to the final destination, right?
Correct.
That the second step is failing because we have not done the configuration. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because we haven't have any strategies defined.
Yeah.
So let us discuss on this. So let us say this is your warehouse, okay, and this is a process. This is a product you want to place it somewhere in here, okay. And now it happens basically in 3 steps, okay. First one, to determine your storage type, okay. So you are like granulating your warehouse areas, so you can always restrict, based on your pallets. So first thing is determining your storage type. So let us assume if I have 2 storage types, so I want to put it in T010. So in the second step, determining the storage sections. So if I have 2 storage sections, so now I want to determine SS01 for this, for my requirement. In the second step, determining the bin type. So right, we have defined the bin type with bins with different bin type. So all these 3 determinations, you have to do the configurations, then system will find the scope of bins. So this is the scope of bins where the pallet can fit and where the business wants to send this pallet. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 12 bins are applicable for this pallet right now. Okay. So this configuration we have to do it. Got it?
Yeah.
Clear with this? So we are going back now. So we are going to do this story now. So script we have to define now. So there is a first step, determining the okay, let me put this HU type check also. That makes more spicy. Let me open. Where do we do that HU type check?
Yeah, to say which HU is allowed in the storage bin.
Right. So we do this at storage type level.
Yeah.
Master data. So okay, so I'm checking this. So now what happens? System will even check the HU type with your bin type also. Okay. So 3 levels. Now I'm going to check up. Check the system is going to check at 3 levels. So first check is determining your storage type. So we go back goods receipt process in strategies. Okay. In the first level, you are going to do the storage type search. Okay. So you are creating for this first thing you are creating is a storage type search sequence. Okay. So let me go back into my slides. Okay. The first thing is to determine a storage type search sequence. So what is this basically? The storage type search sequence, in that you will have list of storage types where you can post this material, where you can store this material. Let's say, for example, I have a T010 as my priority. Let us assume that T010 is full. What I'm going to do with that? I have a backup rack where I can place in T020 also. So likewise, I keep giving a priority. The first priority will be given to T010. So that I'm going to define it in my storage type search sequence. So basically, your role is to determine a storage type search sequence. Then system will automatically determine the bin. In order to determine the storage type search sequence, there are a couple of parameters which are used in the system to determine this. The first one is a process type. And second one is an indicators. And there are other factors also, but we just focus on 2 now, right now. So however, this process type is determined from IBD and this indicator is determined from your product master. So as a first part, we are going to first create one storage type search sequence and then we will look into these parameters. Okay. So I'm going to create one storage type search sequence. Hope you guys are following, right?
Yeah, we are following.
So it's just that yesterday you created 100 bins. Now you want to identify which bin to store, correct? And these rules help go store in which bin.
Exactly. I have 100 bins, but not all the bins are compatible with this palette. There are only few bins which are compatible. That scope I can define by determining this, by configuring this determination, the Putaway strategies. Okay. So assigning storage types. Here I'm defining a scope of it. Let's assume that I have 2 storage types under this search. So AZ03. The one which I created is a T020. So as a first priority, it should look into T020 first thing. And going forward, if there is no stock available, no space available or no bins available in that area, you can go with T010 also. Yeah. You see, this is the priority I've given. The first priority will be given to T020. Go back. So I have scope of 2 storage types only. So now I'm defining an indicator. So this indicator, in fact, is one of a parameter we are using in the master data, which in fact drives your storage bin. You see, if, for example, as a let's say you have received this product. For now, it is more on demand, and this is a pick path, and you want to place in this area. Okay. They say this is a pick path and this is the right place for now. But tomorrow my preference changes with this. The demands goes down and it will be a slow moving. So I don't want to place it, don't want to utilize this space. I can place it somewhere here. You know, for this, you don't want to change the whole configuration. Only that you have to switch the indicators in the master data that immediately change the whole determination process. That's the use of these parameters actually. Following it. So I'm doing determination for T020. Okay, so say enter. Okay, So now what I do, specify storage type search sequence for Putaway. This is the criteria I'm maintaining now, the determination process. So first criteria for my warehouse AZ03 and Putaway control. So this indicator, the one which I created. So whenever the indicator is determined as T020, okay, find the search sequence as T020, which includes two storage types within it, correct? In fact, you can also use this also, warehouse process type specifically if you want to. Let's say I want to use my process type, the one which I created. So this is also one of the criteria. I have many criteria, but now I'm going to use this. So we have the warehouse. This comes from master data and this comes from inbound delivery. So what I'm going to do, I'm again going back to my.
So, Asim, can you maintain the two entries without WPT and with WPT?
I did maintain.
So which one is the first priority for the system?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's Ashok, right?
Yeah.
You see, optimize access strategy. Here you define the priorities. What access sequence, criteria does it matters to you? You see, in the first sequence is this 3. Second sequence is like this. Third is this likewise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to maintain my master data with that indicators. So that ROH1, this one, enter. Oh, is it? How come? So I haven't created any master data until now. Okay. So I'm going to do a warehouse product now. So here you see I'm maintaining the indicator here. T020 and save.
And why the disposal party is mandatory here? Like, because EWM has nothing to do with the disposal party. Normally for the inventory management, yes. For the payment, yes.
Which one is it? Where is the disposal?
The header side, disposal party. So product, first is product description, and then warehouse number and disposal party. There are 4 things. Up, go up. Your cursor is speaking too much. So disposal party is like vendor, customer.
Where is that?
So,
yeah, party entitled to dispose, right? You were talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that refers to which
The owner
product
of the
does
stock.
it belongs to? Owner of the stock.
Oh, so owner of the system is okay. Yeah, who is buying the stuff? Yeah, okay, keeping the stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm going to run the same case again. Okay. So let us go back to this log. So let us see what it has done now. So determination, you see now it has found the storage type, correct? But it failed. Again, it couldn't find the bin because it couldn't find the correct the storage type search sequence is fine. The destination section check is not active. So storage section check is not active. And no valid bin types are maintained. So there are certain configuration is required here. So we could successfully able to find the storage type, but the cascading configuration is missing now. So we go back again. Okay, so he says that section search is not active. So I'm going to create a section indicator now. Okay, so I create one section indicator as AZ02, AZ03. Yeah. AZ03 and the section as
We have
fast moving something I maintain. And now this indicator I also have to maintain again. So maintain storage section search sequence, again the same story again. If the first thing is storage type and followed by and same storage section now. The same you want to have a section sequence, and then storage section indicator is determined from master data. So again, we go back and create one section indicator. So right now I give only one entry here for the storage type T020, and section indicator is fast moving, and it should go under storage section fast. This
Yeah.
is what we have defined for a fast moving. So I save this and storage section check. I want to activate the section check, storage section check also. Storage type T020. So earlier it was not checking. So I want to do a storage section check also.
But is it mandatory to do that?
No, it's not. See, it's not mandatory. No, that's we just executed it. It isn't asked me. But I wanted to check this section also because to make it more optimized. Yeah. So bin determination. So now I'm going to do for a bin type also. So I have a bin type. What was the bin type I created? It's LB03, right? LBH. Yeah. Is this the one I created?
You created, but I don't think that you use it for the storage bins. You use it the LBH one.
LBH one? Okay.
Yeah.
Check. Yeah, I use LBH1, right? So I go back. So I have it. So LBH1, and now assign storage bin type to your storage type. So I have this 03, and now check for HU types also. So the HU type which I have it for my palette is AZ. Okay, you see here, define HU type for each warehouse number, HU type group. Basically, it's again a grouping of your different types of palettes into one HU type group like this. You may have assigning this HU type group. You may have different palettes, but all palettes of different dimension. But any palette can be placed in the can be stored in that bin. Okay. So define HU type for each storage type. So now you are even also going further, like assigning you are allowing these HU types to be placed into your specific storage type T020. Otherwise, there is no it will check for compatibility. If you don't maintain this record, system thinks that you cannot place these kinds of HU types in this storage. Okay, so I'm maintaining H both. Okay, H carton and also pallets also. So these types of HUs can be placed in this storage area. And also because I have checked the box of the one HU type check, so I also have to maintain this record also. So compatibility with your HU type.
Storage bin.
So storage bin type with your HU type.
Yeah.
T020, and HU type is
SEIR.
Yeah. Only pallets I can place it. Okay. Okay. Bin type LBH1 save. Now let us run the case. Now let's see what happens. It is still couldn't find it. So what is an error? So it has determined HU type check is not active in storage type. No, not this one. See, storage type is there, and something is missing here. So, okay, the indicator we missed out, right? The
Yeah, we
master
didn't
data.
assign it. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are following it, right? The Shravan, Indra, other guys.
I understood the process, but in the system it is
Yeah, you practice it, but try to understand. You see, it's as simple, if you understand the process steps, it makes you easy actually. You need to understand, it's like, you're just granulating your the space in your storage actually. See, the whole warehouse is again dividing. You are dividing it first by type, by section, and by bin type, to just to be specific. That's what you're doing it here. And I also maintain the storage type E020. See, I'm extending to my storage type level also. For now, until now, I was using for warehouse data, but I am also now using it for my storage type. Let us assume that I have multiple storage types to place, which I define in my search sequence. But at the warehouse level, you can only have a first indicator. And following that, if it is determining a different storage type, so you can maintain different indicators here. You got it?
But by defining so much of indicators, you're very much specifying a particular product to
Exactly.
a particular bin, right?
Exactly.
Rather than keep it up, keep the option open.
Right. I just going into like very much specific. You can make it simple, like just define a type.
But warehouse may not be that much of a specific. Like
it is.
No. Like
depends.
whatever the indicator, I say whatever the indicators you are assigning, every indicators you keep on assigning, then that material will be more restricted to a particular area, particular bin, or particular sort of like definition. So we are not keeping the material open, which can be like it can be used and can be stored in the different areas or bins. You understand what I mean?
No, it cannot be. You cannot generalize. You see, there are certain storage type where you can have a generic storage type where you can just keep the stock anywhere. But if you want to optimize your warehouse, yes, you do have to utilize this. It cannot be just you can place it anywhere. Why do you want to spend so much of money on this if you want to keep it anywhere? Yeah. See, okay. You see now. You see here. You see, it has determined now. You see, in the first case, it has determined T020 and followed by section, yeah, and finally the bin type, and then HU is allowed. All this, you see, the whole check has been done at every instant. It is becoming very specific, yeah. Okay, so what we do, we'll stop here. Okay. Tomorrow we will let me. Okay. So this indicators basically drive to which storage types or to which storage section does it has to find the bins, and finally it will succeed to find the dynamic bins, right? So the bins basically you will see those bins available in those particular scope. Apart from this, let's assume like it has determined certain bins. Apart from this strategy, we have a certain rules wherein we can still tune the findings, or selection of our bins can still be fine tuned by using certain strategies and the rules. Okay, we will see that. So in strategies, basically we have a couple of standard strategies available. Apart from, let's say you have some 10 bins available in your scope, like what we've seen in the figure. So in that 10 bins, how the system should find which bin do you want the system to find it, and what can be the behavior of a bins. Okay, let's say for example you already have a stock, and that stock you don't want that bin to be considered going forward, or if you have the same batch, same stock, you can add the stock into it. What can be the behavior of it, and what is a strategy do we need to select in those 10 bins? That basically we have a couple of standard strategies which are available. Apart from, if none of the standard strategies satisfy your business requirement, you can still go for a baddies. So what is a baddie?
It's an enhancement given by SAP.
Right. It is an enhancement space which you can modify the code at certain space in a standard program. Here, let us understand on a standard strategies. So basically, we'll start with this manual entries. So what is it? So when are the cases do we use it? Okay, I'm getting some noise. I'm getting. So when are the cases do we see this? Okay, let's say for a first case is a manual entries. So system expects the user to enter his preferred storage bins. Okay. So here system, you can define in your configuration to what extent does the system should propose? Like basically we have three steps, right? At 3 steps it will find. So storage, right, type, and storage section, right? And finally storage bin. So we can see basically in a normal process, you will see the system determining the storage bin here. But you can still, in the manual storages, what happens is this privilege is given to the picker. So he can find any of the bin. Let's say he can find this bin, he can find this bin, he can find this bin. So based on his flexibility, because there can be some infrastructure or layout rack restrictions where business can ask, okay, I want, like, let us make the system not decide to which bin should it go, but you can define until this level, until storage section level. So you can determine storage type and you can determine storage section, but not the bin. Let the picker take the decision of where it has to place it. Okay. So in those cases, basically, you can call it as a manual storages, where in the system itself, you can determine or you can restrict to what extent you can determine your organizational elements, right? And the next thing is fixed bins. So basically, you will define, okay, the storage bin is already in the fixed bins. Basically, it says that storage bin is already fixed with respect to product. So it is always your product. So you have already defined from to where it should go. Are you guys following it? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we are following you.
Yeah. Hari, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there.
Actually, we have two Haris, right? One from US and from UK. Fine, huh? Anybody can answer it. So basically, it says fixed storage bins. The storage bins is already fixed, because in many of business cases, in order to optimize your lead time, also you can always have your products to be fixed to a certain fixed bins, so that the picker can easily go and identify every day if he has to pick it, or any fast moving. So there is certain pick phases. Okay, and let's say this is a rack and this is the route he is traveling. So these areas you can fix it. Certain products, certain fast moving products, you can still say, okay, allocate to your products. So it should always go here. So in those cases, you can define these fixed storage bins. Okay, before receiving your product, system will not dynamically provide you the bin, but the bins are fixed based on certain master data. And the general storages areas, because sometimes you want to use excess, sometimes the racks are full and you want to route it to somewhere. So in those cases, you can use general storages wherein you keep all your mixed storages. And later when your respective racks are vacated or space is available, you can again move a bin-to-bin transactions. And also we have something called addition to existing stock. So this basically, when the same product or the same batch with same quant is available, okay, you can always send whenever you're receiving another stock. So you can move this stock to your existing bin, addition to your existing stocks. Okay, let's say you see here, there is something called here. Yeah, it is going because this batch is already available and you're receiving another batch and you're placing it again. And empty bin, basically empty bin is quite opposite to your addition to existing stock. So if you notice here, example FIFO logic. So you know what are FIFO logics, right?
Yes.
What is FIFO?
First in, first out.
Yeah. So always based on your receipts. Okay. You also have something called, so this is based on your GR receipts and this is based on your shelf life.
Expiry date.
So yes, validate expiry date. So in this case, in next expiration date, let's say in addition to existing stock, what happens? System will lose its FIFO attribute. So it is violating FIFO logic. You cannot work with addition to existing stock. If you remember, we only have one field to update the GR dates. So if your business requiring the FIFO to be implemented, you cannot use the addition to existing stock, but an empty bin stock. What this empty bin strategy does is, every time it will find a new bin. If these are full and this is full, and next time when it comes, even though there is a space or capacity, it will not find. It will go and find this one. Likewise, every time a different. And another one we have is a near fixed picking bins. Basically, it works always with your fixed bins. So the name suggests what exactly the near fixed picking is. Let's say, for example, you have, so this is the fixed bin which was allocated to your product. So next time when the product is coming and system has restricted only one bin, let's say this is the pick phase. Okay, this is the pick phase, and you see the picker is traveling. Okay, let's say the picker is traveling like this, and you are utilizing these bins to another products because all the bins has to be allocated to this rush areas, so that it will reduce your lead time. It works hands on hands with your fixed bin strategy. So whenever you receive another product, which, and this is already been occupied and the capacity is not matching, so it should find another bin to place this stock. In this case, you use this near expiry fixed bins, near fixed bins. So here you define in according with your fixed bins, and also you define in what all the bins mostly you can find it. So these are the areas. So this stock will go now either here if these are full, and then it will go here like this. So this is the scope which has been defined in the near fixed bin area. So it will find next to it. Basically, it is something like a reserve areas. Okay.
So there
it
is a
will find somewhere
customizing.
in this area.
There is a customizing dedicated for this.
Right.
Okay.
So it will find somewhere near into this area, so that in the future when this stock is sent out, so you will run a replenishment process, which will immediately, again the same scope is defined, so it will find the stock and replenish from this bin. Okay.
As I'm just a question here, how does the system identify what's near to a fixed bin? Does it use
that we define? That define in the customization.
Oh, okay. It doesn't use the bin sorting, or it doesn't use the XYZ coordinates. It doesn't use that, is it?
Now I will show you. There is something in the sorting of bins. You will also have an option of near fixed bin, near picking bins. Okay. We'll see that. We'll see that in the system.
So one other question here: can we have the system automatically propose a bin? Let's say we're not using fixed bins, or we want the system to propose a bin, but can we allow the operator to also choose his own, override that system choice, system proposal?
Yes, you can do that. We have something called exceptions. Okay. We have some topic called exceptions. We will see. So here you can give that privilege. Like you will always have an option to change the bins and change the batches. There are a lot of cases. So when you change the bins, what you should do, you should give a reason for movement, and all this we will have in these exceptions. It will have certain process codes where you can enter a process code and change the bins. We will see that.
So Hazim, quick question is that how do we know the current state of this bin allocation? So when this has to happen, is it always like a real-time replication which would always happen?
Which one, Hari? I'm sorry. Can you
so basically, if you're trying to find this bin, so if you're trying to find the nearest fixed bin, already one bin is occupied. So basically, when we're trying to pick something, would the system have always some kind of an updated information on what the current state of the warehouse is?
You see, okay, let's say we have sortings, like normal sorting. So let's say, for example, 0, 1, like 0, 1, 0, 2. Okay, system should in the normal cases, it should always find 0, 1, 0, 2 like this. We have sorting defined, right? So now in this selection of bins, we have something called one criteria called near fixed bins. In there, let's say, for example, this is 0, 1 and 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, likewise. So what happens when in your customizations, in your configuration, you do define to say the system that whenever you're sorting, refer to this near fixed bins that you do in your configuration. So in these cases, like in the search criteria, we will give this fixed bin strategies. Okay, it will, as I said, it will always work with fixed bins. Let's assume that this 0050. We have a storage type search sequence, right? You remember what is search sequence? In the search sequence, we mentioned priorities. Let's say the next will be n near fixed bins. Okay, so this is the first priority. This is second priority. What happens? First time it will find this, so it will assume that this storage type is basically a fixed one. So and in here it is say in the fixed, we will define that only one bin is allocated per product. So we received the product and it is already been occupied. So the next bin it couldn't find because we have said only one bin per product. The next priority, so it cannot find the bins over here. The next priority is given to near fixed bin. So in the near fixed bin, you have defined in the strategy in your parameters that it should always sort based on near fixed bins. So based on the coordinates, what you have done in the configuration, so it will first find this and followed by this one, not in a regular way. So for this process, it will be this one.
Okay.
Understood?
Yep.
We'll see that. And the others also, we have something like, we have a couple of like around 8 strategies. You can choose any of your strategies based on your business requirement. So basically, if you see, there's a pallet storages. So this works always with your HUs, okay? And based on your HU types. See, let's say it has allocations. Let us assume this is one bin, okay? And this is another bin, and this is another bin. So like you see, the bin 02, 01, and this is one bin. So you don't want to mix up your handling unit types. So you have a handling unit type with P1 and P2. And you don't want to mix up your handling unit, because in some cases, your forklift doesn't support. And you want to keep always a similar kind of handling units in one bin. You don't want to mix up based on your handling units. Okay. Because sometimes what happens, there can be certain pallets which are soft in nature and which are hard in nature. And sometimes it can damage also. So there are a lot of business cases where you don't want to mix up your handling unit types. So in those cases, what you do, you use these pallet storages, and based on your handling unit attributes, your handling unit type attributes, it does the sectioning. If you notice here, you have the same bins which are of same attribute, but you see, which are of same bin type, but based on your HU type, it does the sectionings. Here it could able to keep 4, but here it's only 3, right? That kind of a behavior you can manage with your pallet storage. And the main perspective here is to avoid the mixing of your handling unit types, basically. Okay. And the other one is we have is bulk storages. Basically, bulk storages most of time, 90% of time, bulk storages works with non-pallets, like non-racks. And there won't be any racks installed. It will be most of the time you will see on the floors. Okay. But when you're keeping it on the floors, but you don't have anything capacity defined here, because the floor can hold any stock. But if you need to define certain structures here based on your handling unit types. You see, this HU is different, is this HU different, and this is HU different. So based on what HU type, you build a structure. So this HU type will always have a 3 stacks with 3 levels, likewise, or like 4 stacks with 3 levels. Following it? And this one, 3 stacks with 3 levels. So based on that, the system will calculate and place those many pallets. And you see, this HU type is different. Basically, it is 4 stacks with 2 levels, likewise. Based on, you cannot keep this over it. Again, it can collapse or it can damage your handling. Based on this, you will define a special configurations to define a structure of your bulk storage. Okay. We will go through now on each topic. Let's see. So let us first go with the manual storage. Let's say whatever is.
You don't have a control key there.
No, it has. It has created these many pallets. Okay. So now I'm going to create a warehouse task for this. You see, the system could find the bins, right?
Yeah.
So it has find this bins, but this is not my business case. I want my system shouldn't propose any bins. Okay. The picker will have a privilege to do that. So I go to T020.
Or maybe Azam, in the product master, you can remove that Putaway indicator, correct? Then automatically.
We need to change the storage type.
It's not that actually.
The
I was
Putaway
just showing
rule.
you. So here you see,
The 5
this
Putaway
one.
rule.
Not rule, this one. Here it says not generic, means it can find any storage type, section, or a bin. But I want only to be restricted until section. So business saying that, okay, find me a storage type and section. Bins, he will check it up. Don't worry. Okay.
Even though we define all the levels, we restrict it.
Right. So in that, we can restrict by that. So if you run now, let's see what it does. See, it did created, okay, it did created a storage type, but it didn't propose any bins to you. So you asked a system to, okay, system to select type and the section, but keep the bin open so that the picker can pick it up, any bin based on his requirement, correct? So likewise, you can always restrict here to many, to whatever level, if you keep only storage type. See, it is restricted until storage type. This is how is it. So you can always define, you can always have a restrictions on to what level does it system can propose, either to the bin level or just a type and section. You can always manage with this. Okay. Let me just go keep it back. All right. So the next, you are clear, right?
Yes, this is clear.
Next one we have is.
As a quick question is, after this warehouse task, what is the next step which would happen normally? So the picker would go and.
Okay. So what does he do basically in the real time? Usually what happens when what is a warehouse task?
You finally try to put the stock in the relevant bin, right?
No, what is a warehouse task? Why do we create that?
To start the work.
Yes, to start the work, to give an instructions to the picker, right? To say, okay, to go and pick it. So this task you create at one step, and the next time what it does, the picker the picker has a visibility of the document. So he'll select that task and he follow that instruction to move from one bin to another bin, and then he confirms it, and there ends the process.
Okay. And if we by chance, like if we entered an incorrect bin, then how do we actually reverse it? Is it that's also a process, or that's?
How in what case? How can he write an incorrect bin? Because he doesn't have option of that. The system itself proposed the bin to him. Okay.
But this is a manual entry, right?
Yeah. In the manual entry, yes, he selected a bin and he confirms. You're saying he completes the transaction.
Yeah.
If he completes the transaction, then only that he has to again move it, because once the transfer of warehouse task is confirmed, you cannot change it later. That's a restriction.
Okay.
Because the reason, you know why? This is in the technically the system will lose the delivery link in the background as soon as you place the stock. So it won't have any connections. It's only that you have to move it bin to bin.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the fixed bins, basically what happens, the system has already defined to where it has to go. Let's say in the case of production supply areas, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to define the bins. Here I do an extra master data maintenance along with certain configuration. I will show you this. Okay. So in here, you see these checkboxes, check maximum number of bins, and maximum number of bins you give as 2 here, and check maximum number of bins and use fixed bin strategy. Okay. So when you check this box, what happens? System will search maximum 2 bins allocated. So what are those bins has been allocated? So that is a master data. Are you guys following it?
Yes.
So I'm saying in my strategy, not in strategy, I'm in my storage type. I'm saying that this is going to be fixed bin storage type and allocate only 2 bins per product. This is what the story tells you here. This storage type is basically, yeah, go ahead.
And do not assign fixed bin automatically?
Yeah, do not assign fixed bin. Yes. So what happens in the runtime, if you do not have any bins available we are running a fixed bin and you're receiving a stock in this fixed bin store, and the system has already occupied 2 bins. So because it doesn't have anything, system will defaultly it will allocate the fixed bins in a dynamic in a runtime. So I don't want that behavior also. So I'm checked this box. Okay. So as an extra activity, you maintain the master data to allocate your specific bins.
Ajam, can you go back to the place here?
Yeah.
Can you go back to the screen that storage type here? So can you repeat again, like you said, do not assign fixed bin automatically. What does that mean? Yeah.
I'll show you this. I'll show you 1 second. I'm saving this.
Just explanation. That's fine.
Okay. What happens? You see, basically, I have the product A. I say that this is the only space available. I'm going to place it here. Okay.
So one
if
product,
I do not check this box, yeah, for one product, one bin. If I do not,
one product in storage type, one fixed bin. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, one product, one bin. If I do not check that box, because system this storage type is a fixed strategy. So what it does, it will go and place it here the next time once this is full.
The next empty one.
So it is in a dynamic runtime, it is allocating this fixed bin automatically. That you will see in here.
But if in case all the fixed bins are filled,
just a second. Just a second. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
So if the fixed bins are filled, like we got only 2 fixed bins per product, and that product is coming again, and system is not able to find third one, which is because we only got 2, then how the system will behave?
Yeah, that's a good question actually. That's what?
It will error out, or what it will do?
No, it cannot be in the runtime. You have to keep the bins, you have to allocate somewhere else. That's where this story comes in, the near fixed bins. Remember, we just discussed.
Yeah.
So this is a reserve area. So this bin, like let's assume here we are allocating another storage type, which is a near fixed bin. So when this is fixed, so it should find somewhere here. Reserve bins. So next time when you remove this stock, let's say this stock is removed, so immediately this stock he will put it here. So this basically we call it as a replenishment process.
So that will done automatically through the.
You can do automation also. You can do automation. You can run certain programs in the background, which automatically, as soon as the bin the stock gets out of the bin, it will immediately trigger a replenishment warehouse task, and it will allocate to your trigger will see in his RF device, so he will move the stock from reserve areas to fixed bins.
And what is the benefit out of it? Moving the stock.
Benefit is no. The benefit is to understand about the fixed. Why do we need to fix it? That's the first question. Let's say, for example, see. I want to show you that.
I find this to be very beneficial in the departmental store.
Like many in most of the areas, in fact, you see, let's say you have the production supply areas, okay, or okay, I couldn't find that slide. Okay, basically, let's say okay, so let's say, for example, this is a warehouse, okay, and you have different racks. Likewise, you have racks allocated, and you see this is the space, okay, and the picker travels like this. Okay, and this is a truck here. This is a GI area. So now he has the option. You have an option of placing a stock here or here, likewise, right? So now work which bin makes easy for picker.
Yeah, first one, yeah, definitely.
Obviously, right? So he just travel here and he pick this up and he'll travel. So let's say this is a lane, like you have so many racks allocated, and this this called as a pick phase we call. Okay, let me write down properly. Pick phase we call. Okay, pick phase or golden area. There are so many names you call them, which reduces your lead time. And you want to justify all your products. You have some 10 or fast moving products. You want to allocate to these areas 5 equally. So that's why you are restricting is that 2 bins per product. Okay. And every time it will allocate 2 bins, and then 2 bins again. When the next product comes, it will push it here. Okay. So what happens? There are a lot of pickers here. Pickers who works on a GR, who works on a GI, who works on internal movement. There are different pickers. The GI guy, he only focusing on picking the stock. He just get this order, that warehouse task. He keep on picking and place it. Again, he gets another order. He travel like this. Meanwhile, when the stock gets over, immediately this guy, the guy who is working, this guy, he gets an open request to move the stock. Immediately he moves it. Again, by the time he comes in, he'll pick up and he'll go. Because in the market, if there is a huge demand of product and you want to reach the market as soon as possible, in those cases, most of in the distribution centers, I'm giving you one case. But in a production market, in a production warehouses, basically we have something called PSS, production supply areas. So wherein it is always fixed, the products are always fixed, so that this guy in the production floor, he will be used to this. Wherever he needs certain immediately, because he's working on some production here, he don't want to remember. He wants to use to those things. So what he does, as soon as he needs some raw material, he immediately goes there and picks it. There are different cases. So likewise, you use this fix, and whenever the fixed bin is full, you will immediately allocate to your So in order to run this fixed bin strategy, so you have certain criteria. I don't want the system to determine allocate any fixed bin automatically, and each product should be allocated with only 2 bins, and check always the maximum number of bins. If it doesn't check this, system will not do. And this says that is basically the storage type is a fixed bin strategy. And also what you are doing, you also can maintain a master data to allocate the certain fixed bins. Let's say I have, where is it? Bins. Assign fixed bins. Okay. Assign fixed here. So you have 2 transaction codes. One is here and this one is here. Assign fixed bins to products. You can just dynamically you can run, say how many bins you want to assign to your product. See, all these transactions can be run provided you've done all the strategies. Are you following it? We have done the strategies in our previous sessions, right? So this is an extension of this. Provided you've done all the strategies like determination of storage type, storage section, storage bins, all that settings, indicators, all the things, you've done it, and you want to add more clarity or more fine tuning to behave in certain processes. To add that, you're doing all this. Okay. So hope so. I'm not doing that back because I have already done the strategy. So whichever is required, I'm just extending those required configurations to here. So let's say I have created one product called is a 03 fixed, and I give a warehouse and storage type. So when I say 2 bins are allocated, so when I execute it, system will automatically allocate 2 bins for this particular product. 0 bins because it's already been allocated. What has been allocated, you can see here. In fact, you can select your specific bins also. In this case, this is a system driven, and this is your selective bins. Let's say the product I gave here. See, these are the bins which are allocated. If I don't want this bin, so I can always have my specific bins allocated. I'm deleting this. Okay. Now I'll create one more in the same criteria.
Azam, you cannot change the bin here, the new bin, whatever you want.
That's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, rather than deleting, can you make a change?
You have to create another record. It's a grade, right?
Got it.
So I say, okay, it has to go to some C. I want to put it here, let's assume. So I'm allocating here. Okay. So next time when I receive, okay, system will place it in here. Okay, let us go back. So even though you have a sorting of ABCD, but still system will work with the fixed strategies. Yeah, I'll show you. 3 1 process order. Pieces, right? 10 cartons, let's say. It has 2 pallets. Okay. Are you guys following at what time? This is an extension. Okay. So you just need to understand here. So based on you can always do a parameters. As I said, no, in the previous slide, you can have so many parameters. You can control your selection of a bins at the storage type level. So that's what I was doing. Okay. So you see, it has determined 0, 1, 8. Next, it has gone to D. Even you can also see in the log what was the system behavior. What did it do? You see, system 05 allowed wait is checked. Existing fixed bin. So this is an existing fixed bin. If it doesn't have any fixed bins assigned, so it will allocate automatically, provided your storage type it is not, the checkbox is not marked. Okay, clear, right? You can check. You can run the same case with the 3 handling units and uncheck it. You see what happens. Consider this as your assignment.
Okay.
Okay.
You ordered 10 cartons, correct?
I ordered the 10 cartons, right?
Okay, so when you ordered 10 carton, and I'm assuming you got 2 bins, correct there?
Right.
So how did it get 2 bins? What was the criteria to divide into 2 bins?
Can anybody tell this? How did it create a handling unit? There are 2 things you need to focus. Yeah, one is the pack specs. We have defined that 5 cartons in each pallet. This is how I receive it. So based on that, it has determined my pallet's quantity. In second case, it has created a handling unit warehouse task. How?
The handling unit warehouse task.
Remember,
yeah, it's on the process type.
Handling unit task.
Right. Where it is on warehouse process type, you control, even though if it is not process oriented storage control, you still can create a handling unit warehouse task. Okay, clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay.
So,
So
sorry, you're referring about the checkbox while we are creating the WPT, right?
in the WPT, right?
No, so you say that we can assign, we can say that in the WPT handling unit will be created. So you're talking about the last checkbox, right?
Usually, if you don't check that box, system will create what?
Warehouse requests.
Basically, it's product warehouse task.
Product warehouses. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So this is a case now. Let us proceed. And the third one is a general storage area. It's like just a normal general storage. There is no restrictions basically. You can, let's say, if you like, you can have addition to existing stock, general storage area. You can have addition to existing stock. It is basically, as I said, like you can use it for your excess storages. Whenever your actual bins racks are full, you have to route it to somewhere else. If the stock is overloaded with your warehouse, then you want to allocate in somewhere in general area where you can keep it. So in those cases, do you use this?
But
okay, it's just a normal. Huh?
But that we need to put into the search sequence, right?
See everything. Okay, it's a good question now. So where we can control this? Can anybody tell me when, at what stage we can give this general storage area, in which strategy?
At storage type strategy.
If fixed bin is one of them, probably you can give. Or anywhere capacity planning has been done. Like you say that.
No. What I'm asking, as per the business, my requirement is when my actual racks are full, route it to somewhere else, to route it to general storage for now. Once my racks are clear or bins are available, I'll just move it up. Okay. So it means that it is already a plan B. It's always a plan B.
Yes.
Storage type search sequence.
So, in the storage type search sequence, you always have a plan B. You maintain it as a second priority. So once the T020 or your fixed or whatever is full, then it will start searching up bins in these areas.
Yeah, but if this area is not HU managed, in that case, can we put the HUs as well here?
Yes, you can always put HU managed. If it is not HU managed, you can keep HUs always. If it is HU managed, then you will always require HU, because general storage doesn't have any specific criteria. It is just a general storage. It's not even a racks installed. It's just a floor. You can always remove all this. Huh?
But that HU number will not be there. Then if you are going to put the stock there, then HU number will disappear, right? Or...
No, it will be there. It's not like that WM.
Okay. That's good.
HU is always connected to your product, and the label also will be printed. HU will always follow.
So HU is not related with the storage type. That's what you want to say?
No.
Okay.
Technically, if I want to tell you technically, every product you place in your bin, it creates a handling unit number, but it is not visible for you. So to functional perspective, I want to tell you no. But technically, every time it creates a handling unit in the background. That is not visible to you.
But
forget about let us discuss on product functionally. Yes, to answer you, it's no. It is always with respect to your product.
Yeah, but HU is always visible if it is HU managed. HU will always be visible in the warehouse task, isn't it?
Yes. It is still there.
No, but you are saying that HU will not be visible, so I'm a bit confused. Yes, sorry.
No. HU, you always have a HU allocated even in your stocks. Also in your warehouse monitor, you will see the HU number. It won't lose that attribute. Even you are placing in your general storage.
Okay.
Okay, so it basically you can maintain like without any restriction. Basically, it's always addition to existing stock, no limit. Likewise, and it has no limit. It's just a general area.
It's like a mix. You can mix anything,
Mix it
whatever you want to. You can put that.
Question. So, other than fixed storage type, if I have a rack storage, is there a possibility of restricting the number of bins a product will get stored in? Is there a way to control that? Let's say rack storage. I want to limit,
you want to restrict your bins.
Yeah, I want to restrict a product. So let's say product A in rack storage, it should not occupy more than, let's say, five bins. Is that possible?
Right. I think, let me just check this.
Probably you can make that as a fixed bin with a dynamic. Don't assign the bin, so it will automatically have 5 bins automatically taken care.
You don't want to use a fixed bins basically. So I'm not sure, but use this check. I think it always works with. Use this check. Try this.
Okay, I'll try that without fixed bins. Okay.
Without fixed bins, try this. I think it will work. I think.
See, dependencies you can see there, right? It says this setting is part of the fixed bin handling, which is activated with the storage type.
Yeah.
The
It
last
only
step,
works with the fixed bin. I think it doesn't work.
because if I have a
Maybe
rack
you
storage and I also have a general storage, and if I want to, let's say, bypass rack storage, if product is already, let's say, in 5 different bins, right?
But how? Why? Like, in what cases do we do that? You want to restrict your racks with only product, but where do you want to send those? But why? Can you explain if it is not fixed? We see if in the standard, I don't think it is available because you can achieve this with your fixed bin strategy. But if you don't want to use a fixed bin, but still you want to restrict the product, you can implement by PADI. In the standard, I don't think we have something like this because most of it are available only here only. Whatever, because you see, either you can have full pallets or you can avoid loose pallets. But if you want to restrict based on product, then you should use this fixed bins. Otherwise, you can use baddies to restrict it.
And one more question is: can fixed bins also be mixed bins? Can we allow mixed? Is that something that's followed?
Usually, you doesn't do that. You don't do mixed bins in but you can. I don't think you do this, right? But still, you can always have you have option of doing such. Okay.
Yeah.
You can always have a mixed stock, several HUs with the different batches of the same product. You can always do, but still, if you have a FIFO kind of a logic, then it is not advisable to mix up, because see, in the real time when he goes there, he will have labels, right? He will have to system and the pallets also placed one behind the other like this, then he will have a difficulty picking it.
Yeah, that's yeah.
In fact, you can do, as you see, there are a lot of parameters. It's not, if you, as soon as you check this box, this will gray out. It's nothing like this. All the parameters are open, so you can always have any kind of combinations to work with. No, you have to listen to your business, what he wants. So you can always do. So this is, hello?
Hi, I'm Rick. Is it possible to have a storage type where you can specify the maximum number of HUs? Is that possible?
That's what he was talking about. So he wants to restrict
and mix the product.
Yeah, so it's actually that's what Sushil was asking. Can we restrict without using the fixed bins? Can we restrict the handling units per rack, per storage type?
Yeah, I was thinking of the open storage. We're trying to model a gravity rack. Okay. And we're using bulk at the moment. And the problem with bulk is you can't mix the products, can you?
Correct.
So the only option is to use a baddie or.
Right, you will have to use a baddie in that case. Because in the standard, both combinations, you're like, we wanted to use a racking and we don't want fixed bins, but still we want to restrict it. So this option, we don't have it. You can only go by baddie and do that. To my knowledge, if you find something else, you can always open to tell me.
Okay.
Or what else can we do? The bins, right? The bin selection, we can always avoid bin selections.
You could use pallet storage.
No, we can use a pallet storage, but again, it is a sectioning within your bin. But if your bin doesn't locate those many pallets in your bin, it's difficult. Okay, so let's proceed.
Can you check the capacity check? There is a capacity check in the storage type.
No, capacity check is per bin. He's talking about the whole storage type. He wants to restrict only certain bins without using fixed strategy.
Okay.
Okay, so we have addition to existing stock. So basically, what happens as soon as you have already received certain stocks, and when you again receive it, same batch, yes, it will allocate the same bin. Here you see the Putaway rules. Addition to existing stock allowed, and you can say addition to stock forbidden. Instead forbidden, you can say permitted. In that case, what happens? System will propose the same bin next time when you receive it. Okay. You can try this. These are all simple as it is. No much difficulty. Only by checking selecting your Putaway rules. So you see this empty bins again. It is again here you see, let's say, for example, if I want to keep it only for empty bins. So what is happening every time, because we already worked on empty bins on it. So every time when I run, okay, so this, let's assume this is in T020 now. So I have maintained a strategy for empty bin strategy. So what is happening every time it is finding a new bin. If you change it to existing stock and let's say your capacity is still allowed, it will keep all these handling units in the same bin. That is that it will do based on your capacity check. If you change this, that is called existing stock. If I change the capacity, let's say I'm doing a March change, I'm changing a weight capacity of my bin. Okay, T0. Currently, how much it can hold? The maximum weight it is 0, right? Because it is not behaving. Okay, see, it is not calculating the capacity. So you should also activate the capacity also. No, it is doing it. So add. So I will see here mixed storages. What is this 3? 1 HOL. So mixed storages without limitations. Are you guys following it?
Yeah.
What is this being processed by another user? So maybe yeah, because I'm working here.
Azam, I'm confused. What are you actually trying to achieve?
Okay, I'm trying to replicate the addition to existing stock.
Got it.
So for that, what I'm doing, I'm increasing the capacity. Okay. I think I've changed it to, let's say, to 1500 or something. Okay.
So that all the goods it will be placed in one storage bin. Okay.
All right. Let us see. So I'm increasing the capacity because addition to existing stock will always work with the capacity. You need to define a capacity.
What happens if it takes partial? Like I get 2 pallets, and one, let us say the one pallet was already there, and my capacity is to handle the pallets. So what happens to the other one? It goes to the next available bin.
You have 2 pallets, and that capacity is full. So obviously it will go for a next bin.
Okay.
If the capacity is still available, then it will add up.
Got it. Got it.
Let's see what it is doing. T010. You see here, because of capacity, it is keeping in the same bins, 2 pallet because of the same batch. If you put an empty bin, it will always find a per pallet per bin. So here, addition to existing stock and mix it without limitation. So it is just keeping until the capacity is full. So that's how you do multiple criteria and on your storage type. So if you could understand all these parameters, that really helps you to sort out many issues. Okay. So next is a near.
This one question here. Let's say my storage types are sequence, right? Is rack storage and then the general storage. Okay, storage type. Now, this addition to existing stock. Let's say if we have set it in rack storage, it doesn't find anything, a bin there with that product. It should normally just, because and if there are empty bins, it should normally just pick an empty bin and assign it there, right? To the rack storage. It won't like bypass the rack storage and go to the general storage.
No, because until unless the space is available,
in the first storage type, it should always assign a bin in the first storage type. Okay.
So we have another like near fixed picking bins. Basically, it always works with the fixed bins. Okay. So as I said, so we have a couple of extra configuration to be done. So in this case, I'm giving like this, okay, in my strategy. Just try to understand. So what is the purpose of having a near fixed bins?
Is to rip.
It's kind of a reserve area.
Reservation
area. So whenever your fixed bin is full, it should find place nearby to it. So it is a second alternative for my fixed bin strategy. So that's why what I'm doing here, I'm assigning it in the second place. So sequence is 0050. So in the second case, if it couldn't find the fixed bin here, when it is occupied already too, so it should go to near fixed bin. So what exactly is this near fixed bin? How the system understands this is basically it works with near fixed bins. It is again you're defining in the storage type.
One question. You are defining 0050 as the fixed bin. Why don't we define the reserve area in the same storage type?
Reserve area in what?
In the same storage type, 0050. For in 0050, we'll have fixed bins. Imagine that we'll consume 5 bins, will be the fixed ones. And the remaining, for example, section will be the reserve area. Could it be possible?
Okay, section as a reserve area.
Yeah.
No, I think because it doesn't help me like this, because I'll tell you why. Here you see the search rule. If I maintain a search rule here, I'm adding an extra parameter here to search rule.
Okay.
So basically, it will not work. I cannot have the same storage type defining both the strategies. That's why it can always be a different reserve area. Yeah. Whenever the fixed bins are full.
But you can't have the storage section in the same storage type.
I can have sections, but the requirement is the same storage type should work both as a fixed bin and near fixed bin. So that we cannot do that.
So we can have the storage sections in one section is fixed bin and second section is near fixed bin.
No? That's what as I know, I cannot be, because we have a parameters maintained at storage type level. So either you have this or that.
And maybe it is not possible because all the reports are based on the near fixed bin to replenish the fixed bin.
Yeah, so from 2 storage types.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So this is one extra criteria. You say that, okay, when you are finding a, so in a second alternative, it could, if the fixed bin is full and it goes to the storage type, and then when it is sorting your bins, it should accordingly sort it based on a near fixed bin strategy. So you do another some extra configuration here. You see, it's sorting near fixed bins. So storage type control here, you maintain that on what basis it is doing it. Okay. In fact, I'm still working on this. I have to give a correct structure of it. Okay. So I'll show you what I've done. Okay. Let me show you. So here you are giving, when you ask me, like, system will also know when you are sorting with reference to your near fixed bins. So what is the scope of a bins? So that scope of bins, you are defining it here. You're saying that this is the coordinate of a fixed bin. So you should find that maximum of 5 bins in this near fixed bin area. And this is how the coordinates are defined for fixed bins. And the scope, you are defining it here, saying that to each level, it should extend the width of 3 bins. Are you guys clear? This scope, it is defining. And it also needs the coordinates of this fixed bin. So based on what your fixed bin, it should define the scope of it. So this is the coordinates and the level of scope you are defining in this extra configuration. So when you run this, let's say, for example, if I run the, let me change this. I don't want, we can run many cases over this. Okay. So what I was doing near fixed bin. Okay. If I run some case, let's say, for example, I run a fixed bin strategy. Remember that it's all provided by your strategies defined as a basic search strategies. You have to do it, provided you can proceed with all these settings based on what your client's requirement is.
When you're creating the purchase order, you're choosing the storage location as, and the delivery, you're choosing storage location as ROD, right? Now, this in ROD, it means that this stock in the ROD won't be available when you create a sales order, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
When you say select storage location as ROD, yeah. So ROD is, I know the meaning is ready on deck. So it can be unrestricted ready on deck, but when we create a sales order, will the sales order pick the stock from the ROD? No, right?
No, see, it's actually on your availability scope. Okay, when you create a sales order, it runs a availability check. Okay, in the availability check, you can define the scope of which storage location does you need to consider.
Okay. So that's the availability check configuration.
Availability check.
So it means we are telling that which are the variable, which storage locations are the ones which is for unrestricted use, ready for use.
Ready for your sale.
Okay, yeah. So the configuration that we make is we make the AFS as the available storage.
As under scope of availability check.
Okay. That falls in the
material planning. It's a combination of PP and MM. So it's a gray area between PP and MM. So whoever is interested, he can take it up.
Okay. I thought it was this. I think it is probably even sales and distribution, correct? Because the delivery is going to be created.
It says there.
No, it's actually availability checks, material plannings, your material availability. It's all
it
comes under
depends.
MRP.
No, it depends. ATP, it's available in SD and in PP. In SD for the sales orders and in the production planning for the production or process orders. So it depends on which process you are doing. It can be even for material management if you are doing, for example, stock transport order.
But I've
There is
never
an
seen people SD concerned about MRPs. I never seen in any project.
No,
Basically,
AT
MRPs will always check planning. It's actually the configuration they do, but the whole MRP configurations, the material master maintenance, your scope. Okay, there are a lot of parameters, right? You do need to maintain, but all this actually concerns with your materials management guys and to some part PP guys.
Yeah, but should be discussed with customer care.
Yeah, but this fight is always there in the project.
Yeah,
whose take is that? Huh?
Yeah, end of the day, the location is the same. Whoever want to do the configuration, let them do it.
No, whoever is a good consultant, he takes the responsibility. Otherwise, he says, no, it's not mine at all.
It depend on the organization structure, how they define it.
Yeah,
in some cases, you have seen it's very strange that I've seen in some projects the deliveries. It's not concerned to your material planners or like ML consultants or your LE consultants. It's given to sales orders, SD consultants.
Yes, it is. It should be.
No, it cannot be. What about the inbound deliveries? Because how does it deal with?
If it is outbound deliveries, it's to customer service.
It is right. How about the inbound deliveries?
Inbound delivery, it's another story.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's very confusing.
It's not the same subject because you are performing the goods receipt on inbound deliveries. You are not.
And also, see, you have shipments created. And it's again a different who is concerned about who.
End of the day, is defined in the project like who will be doing what. So that is how it works. It depends on
confusing. You see here, okay. So let us focus on this now. So in the next empty, in the near to fixed bin, what its system is doing, you see, the system first has allocated two handling units to the assigned fixed bins. Okay. In the next criteria, I have mentioned that it should go to my reserve area, that is near fixed bin area, that is N fix. So now he wants to define the scope, where to place the stock, because I have committed, I have restricted in my fix NFX that it should sort the bin based on a near fixed bin strategies. Okay. So now it is expecting the configuration, that is this configuration, where exactly the sorting has to happen on what basis. Okay, so based on this structure. So this structure was not correctly defined, so that's why system couldn't find the bin here. That's how
it's not the same structure than the first row.
No, it's this one. It is the same, but I will have to work out on this. It's not working correctly. Let me come back on this. But this is the story actually. It's how it works. The near fixed bin strategies.
Do you have to define these two storage types in the storage type search sequence as well?
To work with this?
Yeah, because you've got two storage types. You've got NFIX and
That's
you've got 0050. Shouldn't they both be in the storage type search sequence?
It should be.
Okay.
That's how it works, because first priority is your fixed bins, second is priority is your reserve bins.
Okay,
so
I didn't figure that. Okay, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah. So that reserve bins, basically the sorting of the bins, it shouldn't be as usual like any other strategy and any other sorting, but it should always focus your fixed bin, where you are placing your fixed bin, where you are placing your stock. So the focus is all this. This is a central for now. So based on this, you define a scope. So that it is saying that it is the control data for this, it is not assigned properly. If you change the sorting area, it will automatically detect it's as normal as anything. But because we have kept as a near fixed bin sorting, you want to do the configuration here. Clear? Now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll work on this and come back to you.
Usually, in your experience, how many storage type sequences are required?
There are basically
there could be probably if it's a distribution center. Is it all like rack storage or bulk?
No, because the warehouse is defined in differently. Like in one of my recent distribution centers I visited, they have bulk storages also, provided rack storages also. The rice bags, they don't want to keep it in racks, even though they have, because it can allocate in bulk areas. But the search sequence, yes, it's based on your number of your product portfolios and your layout. You can have as many. Mostly like usually it is 2 or 3. But if you have more space, more portfolios, yes, as you see, because if you say thousands of materials, immediately the rack's getting full, most of the cases, right? So you will always have to have alternatives. And also, you know what, you will always divide by sections also. It cannot be a general within the whole rack is not available for those products. And also with with respect to your handling unit types. So this reduces the space in those racks. And if you have so many products in your portfolio, then immediately it gets full. So you will always have to have alternatives most of the case.
If there's a hazardous material, so we use fixed bins, is it?
No, hazardous is totally different. You cannot place along with this. You should have, because it has certain temperature ambience and human hazards. Not everybody can visit their areas, and if he wants to visit, he has to visit with certain tickets. So you will always keep those hazardous differently. You cannot mix up with your normal, because it's a legal requirement. So even in that case also, you cannot have fixed. You can or you cannot based on your business requirements.
Okay. Can you go back to your warehouse diagram? I just want to ask one basic question.
Diagram?
Yeah, the warehouse picture, the bird view of the warehouse. You have the initial slides. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Yeah, here you discussed the different storage types. Yeah, one storage type is different, like a pallet, like crates, automatic. Yeah, we different storage types. We identified, right? We circled each area storage types.
Right.
Can you show me which are availability groups here? Which is 001 and 002? This.
Okay, which is 01 and 02? Okay, yeah. Can anybody answer that?
Yeah, your receiving dock will be 001.
Yeah, the one on the floor is probably 001.
Yeah.
And the pallets are all on 002.
Yeah. Right. These are all 002.
Blue ones are 002.
These are all 002. Like these.
All the interim will be 01 receiving.
These are all 001s. These can also be 002 also. Depends. Yeah. All this, you see, this one. This is also interim areas.
So one config we are telling how do we want to store them. Yeah. And other config is again we are telling whether this is available stock or not available stock, basically. I just want to clarify.
Yeah. Okay. So the next strategy is pallet storages. Basically, you see, as we were just discussing, it works differently here. Until now, we were talking about bin selections, right? But in the pallet storages, you can have sectioning of your bins. Within your one bin, you can section dynamically. Like it is not permanent, but the bin can be divided into multiple sections based on your handling unit type. What kind of handling unit type are you receiving here? Okay, let me run one case for you. I'll show you. You see here, I have these many handling units. Okay. Okay. Let me show you something here. And it gets slowed down, right? The system. So what has happened? It's not even coming. Okay. So let me run one case. Yeah. This I want to show you already created one. What a monitor is used, right? If you want to see the open warehouse orders or warehouse stocks, you use this node. Okay. Remember this. Every node is made for different. It's outbound and inbound and warehouse, stocks, resources. Okay. So I want to check for open this one. Let's say if you come back to in the bins, I have defined the storage. Okay. As AZ070101A. But because it is a pallet storage, okay, how the system will know it is a pallet storage? Let us go back into the storage type. You see the storage behavior. You maintain here it as a pallet storage. So as soon as you define it as a pallet storage, so the basic prerequisite is that it should always work with the HUs and it should always have a HU type check. Okay, because the sectioning happens based on your HU types only. Okay, so different HU types can have a different section. If you see in this here, so it is sectioning your bin. So how many sections are happened here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this actually you do it an extra config for all this special configuration. You will see it in here in the strategies and Putaway rules. In the pallet storage, you are defining a bin section. I'm saying that it can hold 5 HUs and the sectioning is as this, but it is with respect to your storage bin type. Okay. And you are defining multiple, you can define as many sectionings. Let's say, for example, I say it can hold only, okay, this is 2 and the section number, this sectioning number is 2 and it can hold only 3 sections per storage bin type. With the name, you can always have a different name. So 1, 2, and 3, and so we are defining different combinations of a sectionings, and it should always work. It always works with your HU type. So in here you are defining to which HU type it should behave. So in my case, it should work with 5 HU type. In case if I give 2, it will enter on. It will divide into only 5, into 3 only. Okay, I'll show you. If I'll run the case, another case now with the same. Let's say give some 50 cartons. Previously, it has done for 5, right? In this 5 sections which I've defined. So now I've changed the configuration. So you see what it does now. See, it has taken a bin D1, 2, 3, and then it went to next bin. Noticing it, right? See, this is a dynamic sectioning. As soon as the stock is removed from this bin, from this section, this section will be gone. It will be normal again. Okay, this is the behavior of this. You guys clear?
Yeah, bit difficult to remember, but yeah.
So what is that you having a difficulty? We can discuss.
No, remember to the configuration again to do it. Yes.
See, okay, I'll give you a simple way. See, you know how the strategies works, right? You've done all this the normal traditional strategy, and now the system business asked you, okay, I want such kind of a behavior. So immediately you see in the behavior you only have three things. Either it is a normal storage or pallet storage or bulk storage. This flexible storage is a new introduced. I'm not sure on this. Maybe it worked for both. I think, I don't know. Like all criteria, it's a blend. I don't know. So basically, it will be pallet or bulk. So you should remember a pallet or bulk, and then if it is a pallet, you go with extra configuration, and you define sectionings. Okay. Define social flexible pattern. Maybe I'll work on this. Let's see. Okay, this is the story of this. In the same way, bulk storage is